Noise is when, in the context of like what we do, is when you use sonics that are a bit alien to the ear. But nowadays, you found that most people are using ingredients of noise to spice up music. You know, from the sonics with the drums to distortion, and it's very controlled. I actually quite like the unexpected in the sound, which is why I initially was drawn, as opposed to the sounds coming from Jamaica in the early 70s. And for me, noise in that context is very exciting when you get an unexpected treatment of a conventional sound. Just the idea of having things that not in a conventional balance, for example, you know, where you've got the drums very low or disproportionately high to other things. The idea of having sound effect records playing over the top of instrumentals dubs is not a new thing. I mean, Lee Perry was doing that. I myself did lots of records where I'd have sound effects actively playing from the beginning to the end of a track, but have them quite low, so when you took them out, it would almost make a breath of fresh air where the track cleared and the atmosphere and the ambience changed.
All right, darling?
For me, it was always approaching the bending of a track, taking a conventional hi-hat, twisting it through parametric equalizers so as it would make a kind of a bent sound, and then putting it through a reverb. All this has its origins in Jamaica. So I was basically just a fan who got his hands on a mixing desk, as I was once described. It was supposed to be derogatory, but I thought it was quite complimentary, really. And at that time, it was brilliant what was happening in England. We had the record industry become very stale with the major record companies, big, boring rock bands, and the whole kind of new wave punk thing happened, where there's a real anger. You thought literally anything could happen. It was a very, very optimistic time, because it was almost like white and black rebel music that was real, and it was English experience as well. And to me, that shaped a lot of things that have come since. Lots of people started checking the sonics of reggae and the space in the sound and the frequencies. And people started talking more and more about the sonics of the sound system, you know, the blues parties. And a very, very healthy period emerged from that. Okay, you ready? I'm just going to set a little balance. Nowadays, everybody, you know, you can see the actual merging of lots of ideas into one, where ingredients from Jamaican music has had such an impact on hip-hop and dance music generally, people using frequencies, that could directly owes its debt to Jamaican dancehall, of, you know, sound system.
Psycho, Psycho. 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 Psychoville. 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 Psycho. 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 Psychoville.
When I started, my hearing in the top end was incredible. It's now suffered very badly in my right ear. My left ear is down about 25% of my right ear. But I think that might be mid-range as well. The left ear is damaged. But my hearing's still good. I can still hear everything. I know what I'm doing. But compared to when I started, no, my hearing's suffered.
Psychoville. Psychoville. The track, it just sounds. This is the worst head. I can't hear anything at all in the headphones.
Some musicians can be completely deaf and still hear things in their head. I think with me, I compensate in the way I mix, in the way I listen in a room, and the way I operate is different to how I would have done 20 years ago. I don't monitor as loudly, and I approach it a different way. But it's classic drummers. Lots of drummers have got really big hearing problems because they're battering the mid-range all day long, banging things. And I think a lot of drummers have got hearing problems in certain frequencies. So you go through a screening process when you're making music, where it's easy to go down a path you already trod, which I do all the time. I go in an area that I like. But you've got to try and keep reinventing yourself, adding different flavours to what you're doing. I still enjoy like live recording. I think I might, as I get older, go right back to acoustic and live recordings. Just because a lot of other people haven't got the reference points on perhaps doing that. I don't know.
I've been fighting this battle inside. I realize there's nowhere to hide. I live with the truth and the lies. Now it's time to wake up and rise. Many faces before me, trying to penetrate me. In the past I said stay clear of me, but now I see clearly. Everything I see teaches me to trust the Creator. Everything I see shows me that there is none greater. Everything I see teaches me to love the Creator. Everything I see shows me there's none greater.
Daddy,
Yeah.
can you do that little thing?
You define noise, and you define silence.
There's a song by the Slits called Silence is a Rhythm Too. Have you heard that one? It's probably a gap between the noise.